completed the marketing, I have uploaded the recorded version because I had another lecture during the same period for advanced diploma in credit management from 1:30 5:30. So therefore, I'm not in a position to take your class, but I will put it in a subject. I have recorded and uploaded to your link, and we discuss, and we have just completed the marketing. And in fact, Thursday or Friday, I have sent you another area where we need to cover a small area about the foreign exchange. And now from tomorrow, next Sunday, most probably is maybe the last day, right? So then on October 1st, now October 1st, people who want to join, and so I'm going to have a revision class, but that is in live, not record. It's not the online. It is at record. It is in a classroom revision activity. So my client management in English going to have it on October 1st, and the first one, because in between I have some other lectures, so therefore I'm not in a position to do the balance part, right? So therefore the next Sunday I'm going to take you so today we are going to close, we are going to finish the syllabus, and I will give you some sort of a paper, upload it maybe during this week, and then next week we are going to discuss some question and answers, and then October 1st, right? October 1st, we are going to have a revision class, right? Now, revision mean usually it is not online, it is physical class. So you need to come for if you're interested, right? Otherwise, you can just not necessary to come for lectures, but if you are interested, so you can come for lectures. That is from October 1st, from 8:30 4:30, that period, one day, right, where we're going to discuss some question and answers, past questions, some questions you feel it comes, please communicate this message to your friends. So we are going to have a physical classroom, right? Not online revision. It's going to have a physical classroom on 1st of October. Clear? Right. Okay, so I think you are having now. Right. Have you gone through, before I move into the new sessions, have you gone through my previous recorded versions last 2 weeks about the marketing? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. You have gone through my previous marketing recorded version? Please, anybody can just tell me has gone through. I saw when I look at it from YouTube, some people has gone through, but I don't know whether you all have gone through. Please go through the marketing recorded version, right? Now today I'm going to with you live, right? Okay, so I hope you are having this tune with you, right? Hopefully, so you are having right? You're having the tunes with you. Clear? You're having this one, no? Right? Clear? You're having this tune, no? I need some response from you, whether you have got this tuned, no? About the foreign exchange. Moment, it is available with you, no? Moment, it's available. Yes, okay, right. So now, so we are going to touch this financial, the last one, the liberalizations of foreign exchange transaction, right? I am not going to explain more detail, and what we try to cover up quickly as possible, not much on this area, but for as a duty of covering the entire syllabus, I'm going to touch this one. You may learn these things in sometimes in commercial banking as well as in survey, right? But it is my duty to cover this area, right? Then after completion of this section, what I'm going to do with you, I may give you some question, right? Some question, and we try to answer. Now this question definitely may be benefited to you, not either from my financial client management, or it can come for your other subjects like maybe survey, maybe commercial banking as well. There's no limitation on this. So the questions I'm going to talk to you today after this session is something about COVID-19. Right now, I'm not going to talk about the COVID-19, the impact of COVID-19. So what are the benefits offered by, or what are the relief mechanism initiated by the government through CBSL, and things like that. Some question, right, pertaining to financial client management. And mind you, this question, I think, I mean the methodology of asking question, definitely going to ask either from my subject or maybe definitely in commercial banking or survey or any other related subject what you are doing, because it's so important. It's a common topic, how the COVID-19 impact the business. As far as I am looking at it from the client's point of view, right? So I'll give you a question and we try to answer that question. Okay, right. So now let's look at it. The today's topic, talk about the exchange control. Right now, you see today, exchange controls become paramount importance because, so you know, what is our total um, foreign reserve at the moment is around 7.1 US dollars billion. So it is an important thing, right? Now, what government is trying to do, they going to control importations of vehicles and majority of non-essential items. Thereby, the government try to control or importation. Thereby, we try to stabilize our or maintain our foreign reserve ratio. It is an important, right? Now, at the moment, when the year started, it's around 7.6. Now it comes to 7.1. Right now, we have to pay loans. No, for government, we government has taken foreign loans. Now, during the year, there may be around 2.8 billion foreign loans we need to service. For that, last time also we use our foreign reserve to pay that. Now, since other countries and other donation countries or other international institutions like IMF, World Bank, they also little reluctant to give us some facility. So therefore, we have to save our what you call the reserves. Or otherwise, we want to improve our exports, right? So then that is how we bring the foreign currency to country. No, but we have a problem with remittances is not coming to country, and then the exports also are not so good. It's around 21% drop this year when you are compared with the same period of last year. And then we have a problem with tourism. Those are main income sources to us, right? So therefore, we need to safeguard our foreign reserve. For that, So we have what you call exchange control. Right now, exchange control means regulation imposed on the inflow and outflow of the foreign exchange. That is the exchange control. Control means both ways, inflow and outflow. But what government has done it, so they control the foreign exchange outflow, not inflow. Inflow was encouraged, right? That is why we opened a new account called special deposits account to offer them a little higher interest rate than normal interest rate, right? So what we need bring more foreign um, uh, money exchange to Sri Lanka, right? And the external control are imposed, as we well aware, with the belief that it would help to protect the country's currency and the foreign exchange reserves, right? That is why we need to have a foreign exchange control. But I gave you a small snapshot as far as the foreign reserves is concerned. What is the present situation? Right? Clear? That is why, because we have at the moment is 71.1 at the end of July, so our reserves has come to 7.1 US dollars billion, right? Usually, mind you, usually that is usual way, they without having restriction, that 7 billion may be enough for country to live for 2 months. But since we have a lot of controls of imports, we can use this 7.1 billion US dollar for another 4.5 months. And also, mind you, now this foreign from, if we don't have adequate foreign exchange, so we had to repay our loans with the interest, with the capital. For that, so we need to have resources inadequate, right? Otherwise, we have a problem. Okay, now if I talk about a little bit of history about this exchange control, and from 1950 to 1953, and the functions of the control of exchange had been assumed by the monetary body. They are the body who control the central bank as well. Then exchange control department has been established under the Exchange Control Act in 1953, right? And an exchange control function is carried out by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka as an agency function in terms of the Monetary Law Act, right? And now Exchange Control Department is the regulator of foreign exchange transaction in Sri Lanka, like FIU is the regulator of money laundering and KYC in Sri Lanka. Exchange Control Department of Sri Lanka, Central Bank of Sri Lanka is regulator for exchange, foreign exchange transaction, right? Okay, now, so what do you mean by exchange control liberalization mean? It is it is an essential component of the macroeconomic policy. Now, why we need to bring the foreign resources and to reducing this gap, we need to bring some foreign exchange. That is why the government has taken some relaxation. Even though now we have some restrictions, but relaxation of foreign exchange related laws done by previously to bring more revenue to the organizations. For example, to improve the product for me, debt for improve the FID, that is called foreign investments, from foreign direct investment from the business people to invest in money in Sri Lanka. So we have relaxed the certain rules and regulations. Now, what do you mean by an authorized dealer? Now remember, to dealing with foreign currency, businesses. Now, there are some banks, some specialized bank called RDB, then National Savings Bank, right? They are not they are being a services or specialized savings bank. They are not permitted to do freely a lot of foreign business. They are being given permission, but limited businesses, right? So therefore, remember, all licensed banks immediately upon such bank issue license to carry on business under Banking Act, and they can carry out some foreign businesses. Not all banks, right? All commercial bank has given, but there is a restrictions on foreign currency, right? And then there may be a restricted dealer, but restricted dealer, as I told you, the National Savings Bank and some leasing companies, mind you, they have given not to do lot of businesses with foreign exchange, but some limited businesses. So that is what you call uh, that is what you call uh, that is what you call restricted dealerships. So includes money changers. They can bring the foreign dollars and can give local rupees, but like that there may be a slight business permission. Now, so NSB cannot do business for LC opening, but they have given permitted, but some limited restriction, right? So that is what you call restricted dealers. So therefore, we have two type of people. I mean, two type of institution to deal with foreign currency. One is authorized dealers. Usually, all the commercial banks comes under that, and there are some restricted dealers. They have given permission, but limited transactions possible for them. Right now, you have understood what is restricted dealer and restricted and authorized dealer. Okay. Before you introduce this act in the Parliament in 2017, we have around 18 type of foreign currency accounts. We call them as NRFC account, RFC accounts, like that. There may be around 18 accounts. But under new law, all these 18 accounts were bringing to 5 main type of accounts. Right? Now, earlier, now we won't say NRFC account, RFC account. There's no RFC and there's no non-resident foreign currency account or resident foreign currency account. Now, all the and now we have only 5 main type of foreign currency account. At the examination, so if the examiner asks you, name 5 or 4 foreign currency accounts maintained by a Sri Lankan commercial bank or Sri Lankan licensed banks, so answer should be these 4 or 5. Personal foreign currency account, PFCA, business foreign currency accounts, inward investment accounts, and capital transaction rupee account. Rather than that, you can say outward investment account. If the examiner asks from you, name 4 type of foreign currency account handled by commercial bank in Sri Lanka, so then you need to mention personal foreign currency account, business foreign currency account, inward investment account, outward investment account, and capital transaction rupee account. Now let's look at it now. So some of the features of this account, right? Only I am just going to touch on very basic thing, right? Very, very basic things you need to understand. You may learn all these things in commercial banking as well, right? You are supposed to learn, but it is in my subject as well. Clear? Right. Let's look at it now. What is personal foreign currency account. So usually the examiner will ask you, okay, who can open, or who are the people eligible to open personal foreign currency account? That's the one question examiner asks you. Now one question still no question asked, as I discussed with you earlier. What are the name 4 type of foreign currency accounts maintained by a authorized dealer or commercial bank in Sri Lanka? Then you need to answer out of these 5, 4. Right. Now first we'll take personal foreign currency account. Right. Now who can open? At least you need to know at least 3 people who are eligible to open a personal foreign currency account. First one, an individual including a minor who is a Sri Lankan national. Right? Okay, you can send money from other country to that particular person if the father in the other country. An individual of Sri Lankan origin, including a minor who is a resident outside Sri Lanka, but is not supposed to be a Sri Lankan, living in Sri Lanka, but is a Sri Lankan origin, but is living in outside Sri Lanka, and he also can open personal foreign currency account. A non-national resident in Sri Lanka also can open personal foreign currency account. So it's not necessary to be a Sri Lankan national, but he has to live in Sri Lanka, right? And then non-national residents in Sri Lanka. Then a non-national either on temporary visit to Sri Lanka or intend to visit Sri Lanka also can personal foreign currency account. And this is a new one. Earlier, they have not given permission for such people, but under new law, personal foreign currency account can be opened by, right, a non-national. So they are intent to visit Sri Lanka or is going to stay some period in Sri Lanka, maybe around 180 days minimum. So he will be eligible to open an account. An administrator or executor of the estates of deceased person who maintain a personal foreign currency account with that authorized dealer or restricted dealer until the completion of the administration of deceased person estate also can open a PFCs, right, until they settle their all these issues, right? Those are the people who can open personal foreign currency account. So you need to know all these things. Clear? Right now, that is the one personal foreign currency account. Like in RFC, you can deal with foreign currency, right? Okay, so that is what you call, you can open in foreign currencies. Right, next one. So then we look at it, the next category, we call them as business foreign currency account. Business foreign currency account. Now, who are the people who can open a business foreign currency account? Earlier one is personal foreign currency account. Now, let's look at it. Who are the people you can facilitate or eligible to open business foreign currency account? Right. An individual resident in Sri Lanka, right? Earlier also like individual including minor who is a Sri Lankan national. That's the famous thing. Or maybe sometime a sole proprietorship or partnership registered in Sri Lanka where the proprietor or a majority of partners are resident in Sri Lanka. Now, not only for individual person, right? Business people also can open business foreign currency accounts, but maybe the sole proprietorship or a partnership. But remember, in Sri Lanka, where the proprietor registered to be in Sri Lanka, right? Proprietor or majority of partners are residents in Sri Lanka. So that means you can open a business foreign currency account for your proprietorship, for your partnership. But those proprietorships or partnerships need to be registered in Sri Lanka, right? and or proprietor or majority of partners are resident in Sri Lanka. Of course, a company incorporated in Sri Lanka also can open business foreign currency account. The purpose of business foreign currency account means you need to do some sort of a business through using this, right? And overseas company also can do some open business foreign currency account, right? Then a state institution with the recommendations of the secretary to the relevant line minister or appropriate authority also can open business foreign currency account. Suppose a state institution which dealing with some businesses with another country and can open like state trading company, right? And as a state institution, but you need to get the recommendation from the secretary to the relevant ministry, right? So these are the 5 guys. And also you can open a person authorized to carry on business as a shipping agent in Sri Lanka, right? And that also you can. There are 6 categories we have identified. A person's eligible to open business foreign account. As the name implies, the business foreign currency account means that account you can use for dealing with foreign currency. So what do you need to understand? You need to understand who are the people who can open business foreign currency account, right? And also, as we discussed earlier, as the deceased person estate also can important things, remember. So the examiner can test it you on this non-governmental organization like right, NGOs, right, shall not be permitted to open and maintain business foreign currency account. Now, examiner can answer questions like this. Examiner can put it like this. They can say the persons not eligible to open a BFC account. BFC accounts are one, can say a company incorporated in Sri Lanka. B, an overseas company. 3, a state institution with the recommendations of secretary to the relevant. Yes. D, NGO. Therefore, the answer is then comes to non-governmental organization shall not permitted to open and maintain business foreign currency account. Examiner can test it you on that, right? And both personal foreign currency account and business currency account, foreign currency account may be opened and maintained in terms of this ways. You can open current account, you can open savings account, you can open term deposits account, right? And remember, you have to have any designated foreign currency account. So the central bank has identified some foreign designated currencies that we will discuss later on, right? Or maybe sole proprietorships, or can be opened jointly with another eligible person. But when you open the current account, mind you, so only different with business currency accounts. Now, sometimes another questions examiner can ask from you, what is the difference between business foreign currency account and a normal current account? So both can have a current account facilities, right? But for in Sri Lanka, we have a check drawing facility, but as far as the business foreign currency accounts, they don't have a check drawing facility. That is the difference, right? From a normal current account for a normal local individual and a business foreign currency account. One difference is both are having the current account facility, but without check drawing facility for business foreign currency account. Clear? Right. Now we are going to discuss another type of account. Right now, that is more than enough. So just to understand what is this type of account and who can open the account. So what purposes sometimes. that we call inward investment account, IIA account, inward investment account. Right now, who are the eligible person to open IIA account? Inward investment account. Now, look at the name, inward investment. So that means you are going to invest in Sri Lanka inside, right? The foreign currency you are using for investment in Sri Lanka. So who are the eligible people to open a IIS account? Non-residents like individual, corporate, country, regional funds, mutual fund, unit trust, other institutional investors can invest money in this account. And also non-national resident in or outside Sri Lanka also can open account, right? So that IIA account, so inward investment account, is usually facilitated for more people. Why? We want to get the money into Sri Lanka, right? That is why we opened inward investment account. Now we look at it. Which funds could be remitted to the IIA account of a bank? Now, who can send the money to this account? Of course, in favor of the account holder. Now, whoever who open an IIA account in Sri Lanka can inward remittances in favor of to that account. Now, foreign currency brought to Sri Lanka after declarations also can open, you can credit to this account. Foreign currency brought to Sri Lanka after declaration. You have to tell this is the amount of we are bringing this money. I want to put into the IIA account. Now, maybe sales proceed of property investment done via IA account, including leasehold rights, some property. So you have invested that money, you can put it under this account, right? And also remember, if you have a PFCA or maybe business account, you can transfer from that accounts to IIA account, right? If you already have a PFCA or you have another IIA account from the same account, so you can put into the IIA account. And also sometimes transfer from diplomatic foreign or rupee account of the same account holder. If you're having another money from diplomatic another account, so also can be credited to this account. Then we say some dividend received by the account holder which are permitted by the foreign exchange act. Now that also you can put it to IA. Now say for example, you have invested some money in a foreign organization. So the foreign organization send the dividends for you as a shareholder, you are in Sri Lanka. So those money can be credited to IIA account, right? You are invested money in another country. Say you are a Sri Lankan guy, you are invested or you may have bought some company share from another country, right? So the dividends come to Sri Lanka, so you can credit it to that IIA account. As a name implies, inward investment account, right? We call inward investment account. Then transfer from BFC account, as I told you, for a repayment of a foreign currency loan, also you can put it to IIA account. So if this is a past question, examiner, I can't remember the year, they asked what are the methods in which funds should be credited to a IIA account. So these are the methods available, right? You can put 2 or 3, that is enough, right? Okay. So then we are going to discuss another type of account. That account is called them as capital transaction rupee account. Capital transaction rupee account. Now, before that, let me explain another account. Unfortunately, this slide is not available in your handout. I don't know why it missed. So therefore, please write somewhere else in your note this account as well. What you call outward investment account. Inward investment account, outward investment account. Please write this note in your queue. I have not given this one. There's some it was miss, right? So therefore, please at this slide another account we call OIA account, outward investment account. Right. Now, all the companies registered under the Companies Act number 7 of 2007, other than a company limited by guarantee, can open outward investment accounts and partnerships as well as in individual residents in Sri Lanka. As same phenomena like business account, non-governmental organization not be permitted to open and maintain outward investment account. And also, any person against whom or any company or partnership against which legal proceedings or investigations are pending in respect of the prosecutions under the provisions of the Replace Exchange Control Act, the Foreign Exchange Act. Now we call Foreign Exchange Act, not we call Exchange Control Act. Now Exchange Control Act is no more. Now instead of Exchange Control Act, we are telling Foreign Exchange Act, right? FEA, right? 12 of 2007, and not be permitted to make any outward remittances in respect of the permissible capital transaction without obtaining the clearance of such remitters from central bank, right? So two people cannot open. Non-governmental organization like own NGO cannot open, and also any person or company or partnership where you have some legal proceeding investigation under the provisions of Exchange Control Foreign Exchange Act, they are not permitted to open. Once you are cleared, you can do it. There are two people you are not supposed to open, eligible to open an OIC. Now, so earlier we called inward remittances, right? Inward remittances, inward investment account. Now this account with outward investment account. Now what is inward investment account? People who bring money to Sri Lanka, they are invested in Sri Lanka. Here, the Sri Lankan company or any partnership or any individual who having some money, they can invest their money in other countries' share market or some businesses. For that, you can send the money to buy shares or invest some money in another company through what? Through creating an OIA account. Now you got the point. So you can invest the money in Sri Lanka through IIA account, money coming in, and also any person or any company registered under the Companies Act or partnership registered in Sri Lanka or any individual resident in Sri Lanka can open OIC for what is the purpose? Purpose is for investment to buy shares or invest money in shares by an organization, another country. For that, you can open outward investment account. Now, once you put it the money through OIA account, the money comes to Sri Lanka, you can credit it to inward investment account. Okay, clear. Now you need to understand few things here now. Now there may be a questions on this. There may be a question on this. Why? Can anybody tell me why there is a possibility of asking a question on this area? This account. Can anybody tell me why somebody can ask, or I mean at the exam, there is a chance of asking question on this area? Important thing, one can ask from this area because now the importance of asking, Central Bank of Sri Lanka has not permitted, temporarily they have suspended sending money to invest their money in some other country through OIA accounts. So that is why it is important, right? Then you can say, examiner can ask, what is the account, foreign currency account, restricted of investments. So then that account is called, it is an business foreign currency account, or whether it is a personal foreign currency account, or is an IA account, or whether it is an OIA account. So therefore his answer is OIA account, because why they have restricted, because then through OIA you can send the money out. So country want to keep the foreign reserve in, that is why they have some issues about OIA. Clear? Right. Okay. So then we move it into capital transaction rupee account, right? The last one that is called capital transaction rupee account. We call them as CTRS account. Then, so who are person eligible to open CTRA? An individual Sri Lankan permanently residing outside Sri Lanka. Permanently residing outside Sri Lanka, right? A non-national of Sri Lankan origin who is a resident outside Sri Lanka, but he is a Sri Lankan origin. A non-national resident outside Sri Lanka, a dual citizen, right? Foreign firms and companies registered outside Sri Lanka. Okay, right. These are the people you can open. Right. Now let's look at it. Another type of accounts we call diplomatic foreign currency account. We call DFAs. A person eligible to open DFAs is for foreign citizen who holds a diplomatic passport, right? Who open the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right, being exempted from the requirement of obtaining resident visa, and you can open diplomatic foreign currency account because you have the diplomatic passport. Okay, so to do some businesses because he needs some money accounts, right? So now that is what basically we talk about, the foreign currency account. Clear? Right. That's majority of certain important things you need to understand. Okay. Now let me now. Now we are going to discuss, as I told you, and just this question area I'll give you. There may be some question can ask The important thing you need to ask is OIA, outward investment account, now was banned by the government because it was told not to invest money in other countries, because when you invest in money in other countries mean the money is going out from the country. That is the main reason. We want to safeguard our existing reserve ratio. That is why temporarily the central bank has given such decision, right? Okay, now as I promised you, now let's look at it now. The important question in the COVID-19 incident. Okay, right. First question, you write down this question, please. When I dictate, please write down this questions, right? Please write down this question. Please write down this question. Is benefited. I have a strong feeling some questions like this, it will come in your exam. Right. Please write down this question, which I am not given to you. Right. Okay. So first question, government through CBSL, government through CBSL, government through CBSL, that means Central Bank of Sri Lanka, government, through CBSL, government through CBSL has provided, government through CBSL has provided many reliefs, RELIFs, many reliefs to customers, and to their businesses, affected by COVID-19. Government through CBSL, Central Bank of Sri Lanka, has provided many relief to customers and their businesses affected by COVID-19. Right? That is the small para. Then the first question, please write down the first question. What are the businesses? What are the businesses? Stroke sectors eligible for the COVID-19 relief. Right now, you know, you may have seen a lot of paper articles on that. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the government, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka initiated a lot of benefits or a lot of concession to Sri Lankan people, Sri Lankan individual, maybe self-employed people or businesses, right, affected. Now the question is asking, what are the businesses or what are the sector benefited from this relief? Right. So now we are going to discuss answering to that question. First, of course, can anybody tell me what is the sector? One sector is tourism. One is tourism. Second, first one is tourism. Now remember, you need to put immediately tourism. Second sector or second businesses, direct and indirect export. Direct and indirect export related businesses. Direct and indirect export related businesses. Now we are talking Now, to whom you can get these benefits, relief? One, tourism. Second, direct and indirect export related businesses. Example, apparel, IT, tea, spices, plantation, and related logistic suppliers. And related logistic suppliers. And related logistic suppliers. Right now, what we are now doing now, we are discussing that COVID-19 issue, right? So, what sort of relief or benefit given by your bank, right, to the financial customers, right? First one is tourism. Second one is direct and indirect export related businesses. Example, apparel, IT, tea, spices, plantation, and related logistic suppliers. Those are the people we impacted because of these COVID-19, who have to be related to export businesses, right? Third category or third sector, SME sector. SME sector, small medium enterprise sector, who are engaging, who are engaged in business sectors, who are engaged in business sectors such as manufacturing, services, agriculture, within bracket you can say processing, construction, and value addition. Now there's some restriction. Now earlier, direct and indirect export related business industry, as we discussed, apparel, IT, tea, spices, and things like that, there is no turnover limit. But as far as the SME who are engaging, as I told you, such as manufacturing, services, agriculture, constructions, value addition, but that there's some limitation. You can say within bracket, annual turnover rupees less than 1 billion. Then the people who having that category only eligible for this relief. Clear? Earlier, there's no any limitations of the turnover value, but for the SME sector, so annual turnover, if less than 1 billion only, organization can get this relief. Third category. Fourth category, sure. Foreign currency earning. Corporates who have to prepay loan. Foreign currency earning. Corporates who have to repay loan in foreign currency and whose income badly impact adversely impacted by COVID-19, right? So there are 4 type of people are eligible for this relief: business people and individual, right? Who are the business sector eligible for this? Tourism, direct and indirect export related businesses, such as including apparel, IT, tea, species, plantations, and related logistics suppliers. There's no limit. Those are the business area, business sector. You can obtain this facility. Then SME sector, talking about manufacturing, services, agriculture, construction, value additions. But remember, for that SME sector, it has to be less than 1 billion rupees. And the last category, who can eligible: foreign currency earning corporates. Foreign currency earning corporates who have to repay loans in foreign currency and whose income we depend on, badly depend on because of this. Right? There are 4 types of categories. Right? Now, sometimes you may ask, how you prove? That is, bank and the person need to prove you are in this business. Right? Now, for the tourism, you need to get a letter from Tourism Ministry as well, right? To show you are involving in this type of businesses. Right? Now, the first question, we clearly explained to you what are the businesses or what are the sectors eligible for above relief. Clear? I hope you have done that particular question. Any questions? Right? I hope you have done. We have written down. I may repeat it again. What are the businesses or sectors eligible for the COVID-19 relief? Tourism, direct and indirect export related business, example, apparel, IT, tea, spices, plantations, and related logistic suppliers. There's no turnover limit for that particular organization. Third, SME sector engaging manufacturing and services, agriculture processing, constructions, and value addition. But mind you, but there's a limitation for SME sector. So provided those companies who have in less than 1 billion turnover. Last one, the foreign currency earning corporates who have to repay loans in foreign currency and whose incomes are basically depend from foreign currency. Right? So those are the 4 categories of business categories you can get this. Right. The next one. The next question. Please write down the next question. What is meant by debt moratorium? There may be definitely a questions on this. What is meant by debt moratorium? DEBT, debt moratorium, MORA, TORIUM. What is meant by debt moratorium? DEBT moratorium. Actually, the debt moratorium is not a new thing. It is some sort of a holiday. Now, I will tell you something. Now, if you go for educational loan for higher studies, so thing, banks will give you a foreign loans or education loan. But remember, you may not. Now you need to pay, no? Some banks are offering some grace period. Okay? So So you are giving a maybe 1 month grace, 2 months or 1 year grace period. You don't want to pay. Now, for an example, you say you take a 1 million education loan for you to complete your degree. Bank we offer you. Now, your course period may be 1 year. Your course period, say for an example, for 1 year. Right? So, how can you pay your loan installment? You are not doing a job. Okay? So, bank is usually give you all, okay, 1 year for completions of the loan. You don't want to pay anything. And sometimes you give you another 1 year to find a job. Then you get a 2-year grace period. From the second year onwards, you need to pay your capital plus interest. Of course, that the balance 2 year, they may added your interest to your installment later on, right? That's a different story. But that you don't want to pay. Then after you completed for 1 year and wait for another 1 year, after 2 years, now you got a job. And from that day, you need to pay the installment. For 2-year period, you get a concession or grace. You don't want to pay. Debt moratorium also similar to this. Right? Okay, just put down what is meant by debt moratorium. Debt moratorium refers to the deferment, refers to the deferment, DEFERMENT. Deferment means kaldana, right? Defer karna ho gaya, right? Refers to the deferment, DEFERMENT, deferment of capital and interest. Deferment of capital and interest payments which fall WHICH, which fall FALL, fall due, DUE, due within the respective concession period. Within the respective concession period. Right now, so what is the concession period? We call holiday. That's another name. As far as the education loan is example, what is the concession period? 2 years. Now, in this scenario, in the relief, maybe 3 months for some people, 6 months for some people, we will discuss later. But now this question is asking, so average, what is debt moratorium? So it definitely can come for your MCQ as first question, right? What is debt moratorium? Now remember, debt moratorium do not mean waive off your capital and interest permanently. Actually, it is a temporary postponement. A lot of people sometimes think is a debt moratorium is some sort of relief given to you not to pay your money taken. No. So you need to pay. Right? Okay. So remember, so you need which customer should pay the capital and the interest payment which fall due within the concession period and a later date according to the revised repayment plan. So Okay, after 2 months, then they give you, okay, from here another 6 months you need to pay. Clear? So that is what you call debt moratorium. I hope you understood debt moratorium, because a lot of people are talk about debt moratorium, and that is the concessions given by a lot of Sri Lankan bank for affected customers. Debt moratorium. Now, debt moratorium is not a new thing, because this one is being initiated after Easter Sunday attack. Also, we have some practice on that, but anyhow, it's usually given for EMI loans, right? And remember, it is usually education loan, things like that. We are usually giving some sort of a debt moratorium. We won't say moratorium, but we call some sort of a holiday, a grace period, right? Third question. Third question. Write down. Third questions under this COVID. What are the type of credit facilities? This is very simple and very easy. What are the type of credit facilities? What are the type of credit facilities are eligible for under this scheme? That means under this relief scheme. Under this relief scheme. Under this relief scheme. Right. Now, what type of loan you can get a relief? One, term loan, simple. They're asking what are the type of loans. Term loans, leasing facilities, pawning, overdraft, trade finance facilities. Trade finance facilities. Right now, not all loans given, right? Usually you are getting this, but term loans, leasing facilities, pawning, overdraft, trade finance facilities. Right? Under this debt moratorium. Okay. Next question, right? Next question. Now, say for an example, okay, you just write down what are the concessions available for who have obtained housing loan. Housing loans are another facility given. What are the concessions available for who have obtained housing loan? Right? But earlier they have given for 6-month moratorium. So earlier packages you have given 6-month facility. But for a person who took a housing loan are given a different facility. For that you can mention 1, 3-month debt moratorium to loan amount maximum value of 1 million or less. Now say for example, you have taken housing loan from a bank which is more than 1 million. So you are not entitled to this facility of 6 months. You are entitled only for 3 months, but it's less than 1 million. For loans above 1 million, available only 60-day time, 60 days period to settle the loan. 60 days, above 1 million. 60 days, that means 2 months. But that moratorium is less than 1 million, as given 3 months debt moratorium, and excess of 1 million, we have given 60 days period to settle the loan. Right? 60 days. Okay, 60 days. I hope you got the points. Now, some of these things the examiner will ask from you. The next one. What are the criteria to obtain a working capital loan? Working capital loans. Now we see, so you can obtain working capital loan for pay the employees' salaries and things like that, buy some raw material. For that, the working capital loan is given at the rate of 4%, at the rate of per person. At the rate of 4%, right? At the rate of 4%. At the rate of 4%, right? And for that, you can obtain only maximum of 2-month working capital requirement was given for 4%, 2 months working capital requirement, and such loan should be repaid over 2 years period at the interest of 4%. So how much of money you can get under 4% working capital loan? For 2 months requirements of working capital and not exceeding 2 months working capital requirement, and such loan should be repaid over 2 years at the interest of 4%. So that is the benefit given to the. Now another question will ask from you. Now these loans was given under separate brand name introduced by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. How you call that brand name? Now that loans was given by the Central Bank, they have put a separate brand name for that. How you call that brand name? Can anybody tell me what is the brand name for which these facilities given by the Central Bank? Can anybody tell me? That name is, we call them as Saubhagya. What is the brand name they use? Saubhagya. 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 COVID-19, if you want, just put Saubhagya is a brand name. COVID-19 Renaissance Facility. RENAISSANCE Facility. Saubhagya COVID-19 Renaissance Facility. So you can get that loans under that Saubhagya brand name. So Central Bank of Sri Lanka has put the brand name for that. That is what you call Saubhagya. Right? Remember all these things, right? Examiner can ask from you. Okay. Then comes the most important theoretical knowledge. Now, Central Bank is asking banks to give loans to customers. Central bank may ask, right? Central bank may ask bank to give loans to customers under this facility. So central bank requesting bank to give these loans. So banks need capital, need liquidity, need money to give grants this loan. To facilitate that, the central bank initiates some action. Now write down this question, is very important. Write down this. You can write down this question. What are the actions? What are the actions or initiatives or whatever you call it? What are the actions or initiatives taken by Central Bank of Sri Lanka to facilitate required liquidity for banks to offer such relief, right? Repeating, what are the actions taken by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka to facilitate liquidity for the banks to offer such reliefs? Right now, Central Bank has initiated something because bank needs some money, extra liquidity to give all these concessions. Because banks already given loan, now we have given concessions of debt moratorium not to pay the loans they have taken. So therefore banks don't have getting any money. So bank need to have money. So then you learn something in your survey coming to the same year. Okay. Can anybody tell me, some of you may be doing survey, definitely I knew. So you must be aware of all these things. How banks got money? Can anybody tell me? Huh? Okay. One, reduction of answer, right? Reductions of what? Statutory reserve requirement from 5% to 2%. Reductions of statutory reserve requirement, it's that from 5 to 2%. Now you know what you mean by the statutory reserve ratio. That is the amount a commercial bank to keep in the central bank from their deposit balance. Say your deposit is, say for an example, your bank deposit is 1 million. 5% earlier you need to keep as, say 100,000, 100%, 5% means 5 rupee. You need to keep under central bank. For that you won't get any interest. Now from 5%, now they have reduced to 2%. Now how much of money now you need to keep it? Only 2 rupees. Then what is the excess amount you are going to get it? 3 rupees. That 3 rupees you can give to customers in form of credit. Through reductions of statutory reserve ratio from 5 to 2%, there's a ample money generated in the banking system. It was estimated that around by bringing from 5 to 2% is generated around 175 billion 180 billion to the market. If you take the entire banking sector. So now banks having, so that means, so we can give a lot of loan if you want. Around estimated around 175 to 185 billion because of this reduction. Right. Okay. One method, how can you have enough money? By reductions of statutory reserve ratio. Second point, reducing of policy rate. Reducing of policy rates. Reducing of policy rates. Now, what do you mean by a policy rate? Mean repo and reverse repo rates. If you have excess money, so you deposit with the central bank, you get some money, right? If you don't have money, you borrow from the central bank. For that, they will charge you interest. So how you call these two policy rate? Standing deposit facility rate and standing lending facility rate. So earlier it was 8.5, 9.5 like that. Now what is the rate? Now present rate is SDFR is 5.5, SLR, that means standing lending facility rate, is 6.5. Now you can give low rate lending. From that, more money is created. Okay. Right now, what is the rate, deposit rate your banks are offering to customers? They may shout at you, no? They said only 5.5, 5.6, maximum 5 for 51 year. Earlier, how much? Maybe 10%, 11% like that. Accordingly, you can give loan at a reduced rate. Accordingly, you can give a loan at a reduced interest rate, thereby facilitating customers at a reduced rate, policy rate. And suppose if you don't have a money, you can go to the bank, central bank, ask some money. You can borrow money at a cheaper rate, that is bank rate. So central bank has reduced the bank rate, that means the lending rate for at the moment is around 9.5. Bank reduced the 9.5. Right? And not only that, they have taken other actions. What are the actions? Reduce the interest rates. Reduce the interest rate for pawning. What is the maximum amount the pawning charge can by the bank is 10%. But some banks are giving less than that. Maximum pawning rate is how much? 10%. Maximum is OD facilities rate is how much? 16%. That 4% is under concession, right? 16%. Credit card also come down 18%. From 28 to 24, now 18. So why all these offers? Why all these money for people to make it affordable to pay? Because their businesses also come down. Why people need money to restart their business? Banks need to give that money. In order to bank to give that money, central bank has facilitated them to provide money. Okay. Then, so some of you have learned also, according to the central bank, to have a liquidity, maintain the liquidity risk, the central bank introduced under Basel III 2 new techniques. What is that? We call liquidity coverage ratio and net stable funding ratio. So liquidity coverage ratio means 30 days you need to have enough liquid cash if you have any problem, without having a problem. That percentage must reach 100%. That's a normal way. And net stable funding ratio mean long term. So your bank have money to pay the loan. So that means you need to have a keep money. You need to have a money in your bank. But what happened? Central bank now they have released that 100% to 90%. Now present amount is how much? Not 100%, 90%. From there also you can release some of the cash available for you for lending purposes. Right? So therefore reduce 10% from both liquidity coverage ratio as well as net stable funding ratio to 90%. So that also some money is coming. And also capital adequacy ratio also bring down 1.5 to 1%, depend on the type of category of the bank. So now you don't want to have more money for capital adequacy requirement. From existing 14 and 14.5 to 13 and 14%. 13.5%. So that means, so you, I think you have heard, banks need to maintain 14.5 and 14%, and that was bring down to 13.5 to 14. Clear? Right. So now you have enough money. And also the capital requirement of banks as end of 2020, you need to improve to 20 million, you need to keep it. So that was postponed for another 2 years. That means the present 10 million billion is enough. Right? The capital requirement also now postponed. So you don't want. So all things initiated by central bank. Why? To provide relief to the customers. How they can give relief to the customers? By giving facilitate for bank for reducing or take actions of these facilities, right? Okay, so that questions may be, even though I am not asked for, my subjects may not cover sometime. Another paper can ask, right? So these are what you call the monetary policy instrument available for central bank to provide such relief. Another things we discuss, SRR, policy rate, some other limited restrictions like determining the interest rate, and moral society. Moral society. So moral society means basically, so it's a humble request from the central bank to banks, please give without having any regulation, without having any direction, without giving a circular instruction. Central bank can ask the bank, as far as possible, you try to provide services, try to provide benefits to the customer. That is called moral association. අපි කියනවා සිංහලේ ශිෂ්ට ප්‍රයෝග උදව් කර ඉල්ලීමක් කරන්න without giving any instruction. So these are the mechanism available for, monetary mechanism available for central bank to provide these concessions. Right? I hope. So once you have and once you have done, okay, another last one in this question, right? What are the concessions? Write down this question. What are the concessions granted to? What are the concessions granted to private sector non-executives? Private sector non-executives and government sector employees by the banks. What are the concessions granted to private sector non-executives and government sector employees? So specifically, personal loans, not housing loan, personal loans without any limit, right? Especially for personal loans. Three-month debt moratorium for all personal loans and leasing rentals of value less than rupees 1 million. And it is applicable for housing loans as well, right? 1 billion. But of course, you need to get the proof from employer he is a non-executive or not. So just to get an idea. Right. So that questions, I think, definitely my view is you definitely need to come at your exam, right? So I think you can ask all these questions if the examiner asks you. They may definitely ask some area, what action the central bank taken to facilitate benefits to customers, your financial customer, via bank, right? Okay, so these are the things you learn: SRR, policy rates, right? Bank rates, then morals in, and then liquidity coverage ratio, net funding ratio. Even for it's not my subject, but it may covered under survey. Right? For that, those are instruments available for central bank to maintain or control the liquidity position in the market. So why we need liquidity? Bank to give more loans. If banks don't have money, how can they give loans? So through these initiatives, these money market operations activities, so provide the banks to have enough money for money grant loans. Okay, so those are some of the procedures. Sometimes the examiner asks what are the reliefs given by the central bank to customers. You can say debt moratorium. Overall question, the general question the examiner asks from you. What are the relief mechanisms given by banks to customers who are affected from COVID-19? One, debt moratorium. One factor. Second factor, working capital loan under 4%. Third, the remittances, people who send the money from abroad, they are not charged any commissions. So facilitate them. Right? So some common things. Then you really not specific, just say what are the benefits, what are the things you have offered for business people. So fiscal policy, they given 5,000 rupees for low income group, that is separate, right? Okay, that is separate. I am referring only to the monetary benefits. Monetary policy and what are the benefits given by the banks to the customers. Reductions of interest rate of certain items, certain loan products. Right? So those are the benefits given by the central bank to restart the economy. Clear? So I hope you will learn a lot on that. Right? And definitely people who have listened to me maybe later on and have a benefit of answering any questions coming under this area. Okay? Right. Any questions? Have you understood? Mathura, what you saying? Nachma, Samudini. So I hope you understood. I, a lot of students may going through our recorded version, right? Recorded versions, even though there may be less people today, but lot of people I have seen has gone through the my lecture series. Right. So we are going to meet you on next Sunday. I'm not stopped yet. We are going to meet you on next Sunday. I will send you a question paper, and we are going to cover the question paper. And if the time permitted, I may go through the syllabus very briefly. Even I have some times to go through. So can you please discuss the can you repeat it, Puta? That you have put some question here. I didn't go through. So can you please discuss the answer for the fourth question? What is the fourth question, Puta? I can't remember. What is the fourth question? Tell me the fourth one. You are referring to the COVID-19 case. What is the fourth question? Just tell me what is the fourth question. If you can just put down the fourth question. I can't remember the fourth question. I just give you what are the concessions available. Housing loan, right? Okay, good. Now housing loans is basically like this. Now housing loans for two things. One is 3 months debt moratorium to housing loan amount less than 1 million. That's a very peculiar thing, not for us. So now that concession is, now housing loan usually get more than 1 million, no? But in this 3 months debt moratorium is given, so the value, the capital value of the housing loan is 1 million. The people who have obtained housing loan from, right, housing loan from a bank, how much they can get a concession? 3 months debt moratorium. But your value should be less than 1 million. Housing loan. Suppose your housing loan, you have taken more than 1 million. So you are given a concession. How much? The maximum of 60 days, not 3 months. Right? Clear now? There are two things. One, if your housing loan value is less than 1 million, you given 3 months debt moratorium. But if your housing loan is more than 1 million, you are given only 2 months concession. Clear? Okay, Samudini. Got the points? Right? If you not, yeah. Okay, now you got the points, right? Okay. So important thing as a banker, you need to know how bank provided the loan, how we provided the liquidity, right? So that SRR, reducing policy rate, reducing bank rate, then maintaining or instruct banks to charge low interest rate for pawning 10%, for then for credit card for 18, and then for OD for 16. So those are some of the policy. And then reductions of liquidity coverage ratio from 100 to 90%, net funding, net stable funding ratio from 100 to 90, like that, right? And capital adequacy ratio from 0.1 to 1%. So capital requirement also not change. They are not going to increase. They maintain the same. So all, and also they have categorized some of the cash. I don't know whether I'm talking too much. Some of the cash, some of the products as cash, as near cash. So therefore, so you can consider those as cash. But they are not changed that 20% liquidity ratio, maintaining 20. They keep it as it is, right? Okay, that is why sometimes people talk about there may be a lot of liquidity in the market. There are two things. If the liquidity in the market, some people have not given the loans, right? And also remember the deposits also now flowing. All banks having deposits now, even though low interest rate, right? Why? A lot of people may be moving from finance companies to banks, maybe because of some issues, right? Okay, these are some of the things, and you need to remember the brand name under such loan is given by the central bank. That is what you call Saubhagya, right? So some of the things you need to know from the discussion, right? Okay, any things you need to clarify under this? I will just go through the syllabus if you're interested. Uh, we have another 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, right? Any questions you need to answer. Now, I thought of giving you next time uh, questions appeared from 2000, yeah, maybe maybe from questions appeared from yeah, appeared from 2019, 18, 17, all these big one like that. For an example, mm, example like this. Mr. LPB has recently found out that the balance in his savings account has reduced drastically during the month of February 2019. It was revealed that there had been several withdrawals from his ATM card linked to his savings account, which had not been originated by him. How do you advise Mr. LPB? Right? There's a one question is definitely come in your exam like that. So all the past questions I'm going to discuss, right? A separate question. So another one question is 2018 March. Mr. X is a long-standing customer of a bank. He has drawn a check for payment of his electricity bill and settled it just 2 days before its payment due date. Subsequently, the check has been returned due to the shortage of funds in his account of 100 rupees. So provide customer-oriented solution like that. If you look at it, one question in your exam paper comes like that. So we are going to discuss all these questions, right? We are going to discuss all these questions in your handout. I will email to you that question. So all these questions we may going to discuss next week. Clear? Right. Now, just to summarize what we have learned up to now. So we have a 5 areas, right? First one is type of customer, right? And the first of type of customers we have learned savings customers, term deposit customers, and current account customers. What do you need to know of these? What are the characteristics of these customers? Along with that, we discussed type of account. The customer saving account customer mean he's maintaining a savings account in your bank. Term deposit customer mean is a person who is maintaining a term account or fixed deposits in your bank. A person who is having a current account is maintaining a current account in your bank. So for that, we need to understand the features of that product. Always remember when you are looking at features of the product, we need to look at it from three angles. Remember, first, what are the characteristics of that particular product? Example, current account, not having interest. Just give an example. Right. Then you look at it. What is the benefits of current account to customers? What are the benefits of current account to bank? Every product you go through like that. What are the benefits to current account holders of having a current account? One, so they can issue checks without carrying physical cash. And also they can obtain a one OD facilities. What is the benefits to the customer? Those are the things. Then what are the benefits to the banks? They are not offering interest rate. And through issuing a checkbook, bank can generate other income. Third one, risk factor. What are the things? Features, benefits, risk. When you talk about the risk, you need to look at it two angles. Risk to the customer, risk to the bank. Example, I'm quoted again for current account. What is the risk to the customer? So usually you need to pay higher interest rate for when you take an OD. Or otherwise you won't get any interest for that. But for a bank point of view, what are the risks? So when you offer them a OD facility, temporary OD, you won't keep it any security, no? So he may not pay you. Clear? Right. Therefore, look at all the type of products available and look at it, the benefits, features, benefits to customer and the bank, risk to the bank. If you can further, you can look at it, the marketing. How can you market this product? That's a separate added. Right? If you can answer all the, right, then we learn what is the difference between treasury bills and treasury bond. What are the advantages of treasury bills and treasury bonds? Right. Then we look at it. Credit products. So advances can be divided into two. We call them as direct advances and indirect advances. What are the examples for indirect advances? Money is not going out from the bank, but you take the responsibility. The money is going out from the bank. We call direct lending. And there are different types of lending, right? So project-based lending, pledge-based banking, mortgage-based lending. What are the advantages? What are the benefits of housing loan, import loans, auto loans, trust receipt? What is a unit trust? What are the benefit of unit trust? Right? Those are the products we learn. What do you mean by annuity product? What do you mean by a longevity risk? What are the type of risks? We call them as different type of customers, the attitudes. Risk averse, risk lover, risk neutral. Based on that, who are the risk averse customers? Who are the risk lover? Who are the risk neutral? Accordingly, the type of products he's going to purchase is different. We need to match customer with the product. So there, of course, we discuss deposit products and then we discuss lending products. And also we discuss the facility, the services, service provider. We discuss SEFT, we discuss slips, and we discuss RTGS, and then we discuss just pay. What are the differences between these things? right? So these are the areas. And then we discuss investors. Who are the retail investors? Okay, so we discuss all these things under number first topic. That is, we have discussed under type of clients, first lesson. Then the second area we discuss, borrowers. We discuss debentures, we discuss corporate debenture, we discuss treasury bond, we discuss commercial paper, we discuss money market instrument, we discuss capital market instrument, what are the characteristics of these. We discuss asset-backed securities, highly complicated products, securitization. We discuss what is syndicated loan, right? All things we have discussed. And also we discuss longevity risk. Longevity risk. A person is living more than beyond the expectation time. So what is the risk called longevity risk? What are the product address? Longevity products and annuity products and pension products. Then we discuss the another important area, the confidentiality of customers. What bank can do to improve the trust and confidence of the customers? Right? How you as a central bank, as a regulator, can improve. How you can improve. Right? Some of the things. So only thing is, I just give an advice. Once you read it, you keep the books out and try to recall it, what you have learned. Right? And definitely this is a subject you can pass easily. Right? Then we discuss customer protections. That's a main area. So we discuss why banks need to protect customers. Right? We discuss financial ombudsman, credit counseling center. We discuss deposit insurance scheme. Now we call deposit and liquidity support scheme. Why we call that separately now? Why have changed the name? We discuss customer charter, obligations of customer, as well as obligation from bank. What are the key areas covered on the customer charter? Right. Then we discuss crib. What is importance of crib? What is the purpose and the functions of crib? So many things we discuss. Right? Now you have to recall, right? Then we discuss anti-money laundering, the most important law, Financial Reporting Act, why it is important, protect. Banks are using for dirty dealings, right? And why we need to have a separate rules and regulation for banks to maintain the financial institution stability, system stability, right? Parat execution we discuss. Special provision loan act we'll discuss to some extent. And then we discuss the nomination and the earlier, what is the importance of nomination. All things we discuss in greater length under customer protection. Definitely one question is coming at ombudsman, deposit insurance scheme, customer charter, credit counseling center. Remember that. So then we have discussed again the marketing aspects and the HR. Of this HR we discuss why human resource is important, right? Then we discuss the functions of HR activities And then we discuss marketing. What is marketing? What are things you can market? What are the 7 P's of marketing? New technological development, online banking, mobile banking, social media, new delivery channels. What are the benefits offered by the marketer? Why bank need to do marketing? What is product life cycle? All things we have here, right? So I think you can answer any questions. Clear? Right. But anyhow, next week I'll give you some more questions. That all are past questions, right? One area that's a long, some case, small case, and ask you to give your reason. So that paper I will give you, I will load it to you maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. If you can answer to these questions, we might discuss the answers. So you see whether you have put the correct answer. And mind you, tell your friends also, we are going to have a revision class physically. My first month is going to have it financial crisis management from October 1st at Morale, I07. Right? Okay, so I will going to have a revision class with some more model question papers if possible. Right? I'm going to cover everything with questions. Clear? Right. Any more questions you need to ask, please communicate this one to your friends. The revision class, I'm going to have it from October 1st, physically, not online, physically at IBSN. People who are interested, you can come and join with me, and we will discuss some past papers and some model papers. Some people are like that. Some people can pass, only come for that. What time we have classes on 1st October? It's from 8:30, 4:30. Right? 8:30, 4:30, full day. We cover up entire syllabus as quickly as possible. Right? If you are interested, right? But I think you have to pay for that. I don't know. You have to check from IBSL on that. Not much amount, small amount. Right? Clear? Right. So that is normally, these are revision class, right? Okay. So all subjects are having the revision class. Get in touch with these people, right? Those are not online. All are basically through the physical, right? Any questions? So we wind up for today. So I will see you on next Sunday, hopefully. But I will anyhow, I'll be there. Please go through that question paper as well. Right? Okay, so see you on next Sunday. That is the last day. We try to join. We try to join live, right? So I try to be here. I have another one. I may postpone. I'll come and beat you for this class. Otherwise, I have to record it and put it. But don't worry, I try to come on next Sunday as well, right? And then finish it off. Please communicate my message to others. Okay, thank you very much for being with me for today, and we will see you on next Sunday. Thank you.